Okay. Welcome. Welcome to the pre-show. DJ Wild Body here. Check it out. Please like, subscribe, let them know we in here. DJ Wild Body here. Pre-show. Gonna get it in. Please like, subscribe. Go ahead and share. Let them know we in here. Starting up at 7 on the dot, hopefully. Play a little music for you. Spinning today's dopest independent artists and producers. Let's get it.
Chicago Fire.
Dirty old Memphis, so Danger Vein, Third Element, we out here. East Coastin', right? East Coast flowing, muscle moving, still pursuing this music, craft thick. Cheese spread love on the track, mad rack teaming up with the student of the game. Across seasons playing at CV, pack heat, never mundane. Here to reach out with the linkage of CMA. Mind spray like skunk pheromones, long lasting. Far reaching effects of hip hop. We cover dialects of the few. Who knew we could make it? Styles contrasting the tickle aura canals. Meanwhile, a smile. Cause there's always more shores to touch and lives to reach. Stu in Beijing, I'm in DC. Check the speech pattern off the ramble, rattling flows. For foes that become fans in the span of time. The Seinfeld of rap is really nothing when I rhyme. It's beat to the East Coast. For the East Coast, for the East Coast, yeah. 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 Yeah.
Mac.
We're number one, double double. In the house, double double, gonna turn this out. My body.
Going on, Notes.
What up, dog?
Welcome, Mike Notes. Get it in.
Tonight, yo. This little shorty I've been trying to get at, supposed to be in the spot. Got some plans. Yo, watch how your boy do it though. Marriott, Doubletree, W. Radisson. Marriott, Doubletree, W. Radisson. Marriott, Doubletree, W. Radisson. Hilton, Excelsior, Sheraton, Red Roofing. Marriott, Doubletree, W. Radisson. Marriott, Doubletree, W. Radisson. Marriott, Doubletree, W. Radisson. Hilton, Excelsior, Sheraton, Red Roofing. Marriott, Doubletree, W. Radisson. Hilton, Excelsior, Hilton, Excelsior, Hilton, Excelsior, Hilton, Excelsior, Hilton, 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 Excelsior, Sheraton, Red Roofing, let you in, slide it off, your naked skin is butter soft. My sex in the course, then the course, and she's guitar. Taking in the central force, I break you off, you give it back, we getting lost within ourselves. In the end, us blaze a sack. Matter of fact, I got some yak, body shot, you like that? How about that? What you say right there? Holla back. Excuse me, love, how you doing? Can I get your name? Can I buy you a drink and talk over some things? You looking real good, sexy and such, but kept a plain stomach game looking right, ma. You hotter than a flame. Can we get a booth, cop a squat, talk a little bit? Or you married with kids, the corporate type of college chick? I young, I had to drink. Question is, do you smoke? Question is, you wanna roll? Maybe hit the dance floor, it's on you. Truth be told, I'm kinda feeling you. The body language that you use, movements that you choose. Damn, ma, you serious? I had to be an idiot to let you walk by my eyes and realize later that I should have stopped you. Plus, you got your own paper. I know you wanna go and tell your friends, see you later.
Mondays and Wednesdays, while niggas flirt, I'm sewing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? I see you later. They come the drama. Oh, that's that nigga with the thing. Wow, why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place, play your position. Here come my intuition. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watch it, and hoes clock it. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be next. Look at they man, big man, they never try, so we roll with them, stole with them. I mean loyalty, niggas bought me milks at lunch, the milks with chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch, butter crunch.
Sky's the limit and you know that you keep on, just keep on pressing on. Sky's the limit and you know that you can have what you want, be what you want. Sky is the limit and you know that you keep on, just keep on pressing on. Sky is the limit and you know that you can have what you want, be what you want.
My crew was lame. I had enough heart for most of them, long as I got stuff for most of them solved. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking and my homegirls now start stacking. Dabbled in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina, made the scenes, took my Ninas. Fucking weak and strong. You got it going on. You're dead wrong. The weak and the strong. You got it going on. You're dead wrong. No, relax and take notes. No, I take toke. No, the marijuana smoke. Throw you in a choke. Gun smoke notes. While I take tokes of the marijuana notes. While I take tokes of the marijuana notes. While I take tokes of the marijuana smoke. Throw you in a choke. Gun smoke notes. While I take tokes of the marijuana smoke. Throw you in a choke. Gun smoke. Throw you in a choke. Gun Biggie smoke. No, y'all. The rap slayer. The hooker layer. No, motherfuckers say a prayer. Notes. While I take tokes of the marijuana smoke. Throw you in a choke. Gun smoke. Biggie smoke for mayor, the rap slayer, the hooker layer. Motherfuckers say your prayers. Hail Mary, full of grace. Smack the bitch in the face, take her Gucci bag and a North Face off her back. Jab her if she act funny with the money. Oh, you got me mistaken, honey. I don't wanna rape ya, I just want the paper, the visa, capisha. I'm out like the vapors. Who's the one you call Mr. Macho? The head honcho, switch this like Kumacho. I got so much style that should be down with the stylistics. Make up to break up, niggas need to wake up. Smell the Indonesia, beat you to a seizure. Then both your moms hit the skins to amnesia. She don't remember shit, just the 2 hits. Her hitting the floor and me hitting the clits. Sucking on the tits, had the hooker begging for the dick. And your moms ain't ugly though, my dick got rocked quick. I guess I was a combination of House of Pain and Bobby Brown. I was bumping around and jumping around. After then I asked her who's the man, she said B.I.G. Then I bust in her D.Y.E. Dead wrong. You gotta go on. You're dead wrong. The weak or the strong. Who got it going on? You're dead wrong. When I dusted. I like to spread the blood like mustard. Trust it, my hardcore rain leaves you rusted. Move over, Lucifer. I'm more ruthless, leave you toothless. You tip it, I flip it. Tears don't affect me. I handle with the tech G. Disrespect me. My potency is deadly. I'm shooting babies, no ifs, ands, or maybe. Hit mummy in the tummy, let the homo play the dummy. Slit the wrist, a little sis. After she sucked the dick, I stabbed the brother with the ice pick because he wanted me to fuck him from the back. But Smalls don't get down like that. If it's breath in my lungs, up in the drums, I check a paper sliding right left index and thumbs. I get it done.
I get it done.
Getting left with the crumbs. Rookies close their lockers when the principal comes. See, my cousins can't rhyme no more.
I mean, most of
it. Like George Carl, I ain't coaching. Side bets, face up fours, I ain't posting them. Gynelotrian, matter of fact, I ain't approaching them. The tape is on, I make the storm out of the stoma. Bleed you like a hematoma. People king's persona. Over them M's, I'm in a nasty mood like Miss Corona. Teach my sons to keep the heat, I'm raising Arizona. Kicks, hand claps, and rhymes, we call it dad rap. Every verse is church, so hush and get your hands slapped. They said that I should give it up, I'm saying damn that. Call a few friends and get some.
Yes, sir.
Get to see me, come back to take it. That's why this thing is so sacred.
Show starting at 7. Please like, subscribe, let them know we're here.
I messed around and made it out the basement. Yeah, so praise God.
New York, you hear me?
Say what?
Can you hear me? Praise God.
News.
Time for selection. Advertising slots trying to get some traction. Prey on the sleepers cause they be stacking these words up in your face like a six-story caption. I'm not into big pros and mentors. I'm into learning shit to learn more. Break truck puller, it got your name on it. Take the loot with bands and the fame on it. Ran out of shirt, that's how I came for it. Making time bombs in your rainforest. Collateral damage, some paid for it. It was my bars, but the
name is Fields, called the Dapper Dawn, known to get my trapping on. From the home where hoes stand on pose and get they clapping on. You get your 1224 kinda rapping on. Dawn the magic wand when I get my name is Fields, called the Dapper Dawn, known to get my trapping on. From the home where hoes stand on pose and get they clapping on. You get your 1224 kinda rapping on. Dawn the magic wand when I get my pimp smacking on. It's no debate, no mistake, get you chased from this place. If I pull the lid, bet you get erased. Cause it's high kinda roller in the host to leave a hole in the shoulder of a soldier the size of a fucking boulder. Now it me that I'm colder than the tip of an iceberg. Fuck the waterworks if I mention that pipe first. You niggas all talk, so I know you won't try me. Nick like Isaac Hayes, nigga walk on by me. Cop face all up in that ass like a prostate. Do you like them but put you on the earth in the box state? Come to the D, please stay the fuck off the back streets. Cause them shots had you running like you train for a track meet.
Listen, my mental pick a target. I'm on point, aiming high for my victim, so fix your joint. Back in better, baby, no conversation. Put this bud in rotation. I break this rhythm down and smoke it like a blunt. Really talking crazy, they wanna stray me, passing knowledge on daily games to be so not told. So tell me what you want. Deep in all their weaknesses, keeping tallies, knowing all the back alleys. If you a nemesis, know I'm coming for blood. 63 panoramic vision when I'm backing up. Stay silent so niggas riding. I ain't gotta flex my gut. Superior in my ways and it's reflecting in my lungs. No time for pussy footing, you gotta strap on your nuts. Study ways to spirit yourself in the light so I can shine in the light. But what never changes is the darkness of this gun. Every shot you take in the barely phase me. You a feather, my baby, come be a man and take this every counter punch.
Yeah. Bitch.
My name is Fields, called the Dapper Dawn, known to get my trapping on. From the home where hoes stand on hope. My name is Fields, called the Dapper Dawn, known to get my trapping on. From the home where hoes stand on pose and get they clapping on. You get your 1224 kinda rapping on. Dawn the magic wand when I get my pimp smacking on. It's no debate, your mistake, get you chased from this place. If I pull the lid, bet you get erased. Cause this high kinda roger in the host to leave a hole in the shoulder of a soldier the size of a fucking boulder. Now it hit
that I'm colder than
Crazy.
the tip of an iceberg. Fuck the waterworks if I mention that pipe burst. You niggas all talk, so I know you won't try me. Age, nigga, walk on by me. Cock face, all up in that ass like a prostate. Do you like them, but put you on the earth in the box state. Come to the deep, please stay the fuck off the back streets, cause them shots had you running like you trained for a track meet.
30 clips in my mental, pick a target. I'm on point, aiming high for my victim, so fix your joint. Back in better, baby, no conversation. Put this bud in rotation. I break this rhythm down and smoke it like a blunt. Really talking crazy, they wanna stray me, passing knowledge on dating games to be sold. I told, so tell me what you want. Peeping all their weaknesses, keeping tallies, knowing all the back alleys. If you a nemesis, know I'm coming for blood. 63 panoramic vision when I'm backing up. Stay silent so niggas riding. I ain't gotta face my gut. Superior in my ways and it's reflecting in my lungs. No time for pussy footing, you gotta strap on your nuts. Study wait for spirit self in the light so I can shine in the light. But whatever changes is the darkness of this gun. Every shot you taking to barely phase me. You a feather, my baby, come be a man.
Why not?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's going on? What's going on? We're in the building. Sunday, the 5th of March. Is that time again? Talk that stuff. I'm DJ Wild Body. I got the panel here with me. Long day. But first, let's meet the panel. Let's meet the panel. Up first, from Oakland, USA, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the comrade. Quanto Mill in the building. Go check him out on Bandcamp. Crazy instrumental album. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the comrade. RTO Beats.
Peace, peace.
Up next, from Detroit, Michigan, Now in the NC area, North Kakalaki, ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Fields.
Yo, what up, though?
Up next from Detroit as well. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for this brother. Solid brother. My brother. Mike Notes.
What up, though? What up, though?
And last but not least, from Flint in the building, the comrade, your brother, my brother. Let's give it up for Ron Wallace.
Peace.
Oh. And I am DJ Wild Body, Florida, Jersey, stand up in the building. Got a few panel members running late. Show must go on. We are here, DJ Wild Body, here on that Sunday. How's everybody doing? Good to see everybody. We're in the building. That's right. Let me get my stuff right. Hold on, man. I'm bugging right now. I've had no sleep. Watched the fight last night. UFC 285, Las Vegas T-Mobile Arena. Man, I was up until 1 a.m. I had to be up at 3. Oh, my God. John Jones captures the heavyweight title. It's safe to say that John Jones is the GOAT. Shout out to John Jones. These two of my favorite fighters, Cyril Gane, the Frenchman, and John Jones, two of my favorite fighters. I kind of adopted Cyril as my favorite fighter because Jones has been out of commission for 3 years. He went from light heavyweight, which is 205. He went to heavyweight, put on some weight, and he went out there and extinguished Cyril Gane within 2 minutes. Got him in a headlock and submitted him. So shout out to John Jones, man, 285. Also, before that, in the bantamweight, I believe, Valentina Shevchenko, she lost her belt, 8 title defenses to Grasso. She got Shevchenko in a choke and tapped her out. So Shevchenko is no longer the champion. And some other good fights, some promising fighters. I know we don't get together anymore because of my schedule, man. But, man, I really miss the UFC like that, man. But, yeah, shout out to all the fighters that fought last night. It was a good card, man. The Jones fight was quick. So those of you that do follow fighting, UFC, MMA, is it safe to say that we need to call John Jones to go to MMA?
No.
If not him, then who? If not him, then who? That's my question, you know.
I'm not versed on this subject, so I'll bow out on this.
No problem. Go do your studies. Go look him up. John Jones been in the games.
No, I know, but I mean, I just know he can't get off the powder. So I'm just like,
hey,
you know,
as long as he's
forgot like in his. I do know in the highlight of his career, he decided that, you know, chasing drugs was more important than being the greatest.
Yeah. To his defense, the guy was 23, first youngest UFC champion ever. Had a lot of money thrown at him. He made some mistakes, man. I mean, he don't shy away from them. Yeah, he got you know, he is, I think, getting absolved from USADA. One of the tests he failed for pictogram. They're gonna end up ruling that out. So that no contest he has with Daniel Cormier is gonna go into the win column. But yeah, man, he made mistakes. Young man. Likes to be wild and vivid. Man, I'm running off of fumes right now. But it's good to see y'all, man. Lot to talk about tonight. Shout out to Shireen Jules. She can't make it tonight. She'll be back with us next week. Also, the comrade Ricks. Shout out to the Jersey Sun. He won't be here tonight as well. And we have, I think, Tiger Woods. I mean, Malcolm running. He might be here a little later. I did have my old Army buddy coming on, but he is. I seen him. He popped up. I don't know. Drop if you listening to this, man. If you having any issues getting in the channel, let me know. Shout out to the podcast group chat. Thank y'all. Please like, subscribe, share, let everybody know we're here. Let's get on to business. John Morant, American professional basketball player for the Memphis Grizzlies, has been suspended for at least 2 games for the post that he had with some iron. Is that the crime fit the punishment, guys? Your opinion?
I don't think it's over.
Huh?
I think if they find that he's committed other crime, I mean, if this whole thing about punching a 17-year-old, you know, they could make an example out of him.
Oh, I didn't know about that. What's up with that? Damn, where'd that come from?
Oh, he punched He punched a 17-year-old or something. I don't know everything, and I don't have the ability to look it up.
I
right in
got you.
front of me.
Understand. I'm gonna check it out.
My
real-
power is still out. My power is still out at the crib.
Oh,
But
shit.
Damn.
yeah, there's supposed to be a pending case in terms of him getting into it, but it's all about the company he keeping. He keep a real negative company, in my opinion.
Right.
And he's the ring. I mean, he's the one with the money. He's the one with the bag, and he's getting ready to sacrifice a great deal if he doesn't get it together.
Right. People like to compare him to Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson wasn't that. Allen, I mean, I did see something a little, because of maybe they're same size, but he's wilding right now.
I don't think it's a fair comparison as far as
way.
what I've been told and what I've read, because Allen Iverson grew up in Newport News, and his upbringing was a lot different, and a lot better. So he doesn't have any rationality, nothing crazy.
Somebody got some background noise. I can hear it. Hold on.
I hear my TV.
Oh shit! Got them exotic
Oh, you
shows.
hear it?
Yeah. Second thing, I know.
It's fucking this nigga talking about the game. He was killed. Damn. I think you can't watch one show without it being.
I was gonna say about this dude. I mean, I know back before, pretty much when the Jordan era, some of these players. I mean, people look up to these players. They want to be basketball players. And my question is, I asked that question on our podcast chat, and I had some time to think about it. And I think of a kid having a role model. Do I want the role model to be a basketball player or a football player? I think if my kid strived to be a basketball player and he looked up to him, maybe. But as far as being what did I say? A mentor or a role model? I don't know. I don't know how I like the sound of that, but I'm pretty sure in some instances, a lot of these players, the standards, I think back then in that era, I think there was a standard that these players had to hold up to. That's why Charles Barkley went out his way and said that I'm not no role model. But today, man, I don't, these kids, man, some of these kids are coming from money. Some of these kids are second, third generation basketball players. They ain't never been in the streets. I just want to know, man, my first questions, I mean, we got a lot to talk about tonight, but my first question is, why is it that these rich basketball players or these celebrities, they glamorize the gangster life? Why isn't where you have somebody that's growing up in poverty and actually grew up around that crime and all that shit, and you did what you had to do to survive, they're trying to get out of that environment, whereas you have these young millionaires with so much money they can't even count it. They want to glamorize, or you see these celebrities becoming bloods. Like, I don't understand that.
It's hard to shake that, man. If you're a fool, you put money in the pocket. You're just a rich fool. So
true.
Niggas feel like they need to have some type of credibility, especially if they grew up rich. We're gonna look at niggas as a square and whatnot. So motherfuckers feel that they need to have that life, quote unquote, up under their belt. So niggas won't press them, even though this shit gonna happen regardless. But
right. I think so do you think kids still look at these ball players as role models, or is the jig up? No?
It depends on the demographic. I mean, you look at it, like, I think the thing that just boggles my mind about this whole situation with Ja Morant is the fact that he didn't come from that life.
Right.
He never had to experience that life. Maybe his parents did. I mean, I don't know. But himself, I mean, he didn't have to, he didn't come from that life. So the fact that you want to embrace something that is not something that you are literally getting away from, right, it just doesn't make sense to me. And then I heard reports Wallace said I heard that too, where he punched a 17-year-old in the face and then like 12 or 13 times.
Jesus.
And then brandished a firearm. And then I heard his mom got into it at a department store and called the security to basically try to check the people at the department store. So, I mean, I don't think it's just a him issue. I think it might be a family issue in the sense that, now, like, because you see how his dad is at the games and stuff. So it's more so like, it may not just be him. It might be the whole, entourage family dynamic to where it's just like, what are y'all trying to portray and why are y'all trying to act like that when y'all weren't ever in that?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that just blows my mind. I mean, as far as kids looking at basketball players as role models, I mean, I think that's gonna always be a case to a degree. We'll never get out of that because I mean it's something to strive for, right? As in a kid's mind. I mean, I'm sure we all had those, Jordan,
So Jordan was that was
like,
it for me.
Yeah, like what I'm saying? We all had that kind of, idolization for that, but so that'll probably never go away as far as our athletes is concerned. And especially guys in that realm wanting to model their game after those, players.
Right.
But like I said, I just don't get when people don't come from that life and then they want to act like that life. Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
All right. Listen, what's going on? Welcome, Drop, to the show, man. A long time friend. How you been, brother?
Hey, my brother, how you doing? I'm sorry about the. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, brother.
All right, I'm sorry about the pause. Giving new technology to an old person.
Shout out to
that
Drop.
never works out well.
Shout out to Drop for messing with new technology. Hey man, welcome, man. Talk that stuff. Missing a few bodies tonight. Our female is not here. We'll be back
The
next week.
females in here.
Hey, we got them in the chat.
Hey, this is not a sausage party. Listen, I am too old to change teams now.
Hey man, what you think about the Ja Morant shit going on? He's carrying, flexing with guns online, and now I'm hearing he's assaulting a 17-year-old kid. And I was saying about, it seems that I don't know if you heard before. I was saying it seems like these rich athletes that are, some of them come from money. They're trying to glamorize the gangster type of life, and I just don't understand that. And
I didn't mean.
Oh no, go ahead. No, you got it, man. Go ahead.
All right. Well, just to give an update on my background. First of all, I go through mentorhood.
That's right.
I have mentorship through boxing.
Yes.
New Jersey, give a kid a dream. I've been doing this thing for a minute.
Shout out.
We have to empower our kids. So with that being said, between boxing, officiating, as well as coaching, I can't be a friend to these young men. I'm a mentor.
Right.
I'm a lifeline. So I'm looking at his father. See, his father is really enabling him to go through the motions in this aspect. Right. His father accepts him as far as going out there making these small, I want to call them mistakes. You cannot allow to be a friend with your child.
All right, I've always heard that.
And that's the biggest thing. I love my kids, don't get me wrong, and I'm talking about my athletes. Right. But I can't be sitting at the club drinking with them.
Right.
I can't be signing off on them showing guns online and pictures and various sorts.
Right.
It's got to be that buffer, that respect.
Right.
And it's not to say that you don't love that kid, but hey, you don't want your kid get into that life, bringing that kind of negative energy.
Hell no. And I tell you, man, with these days with online and all these rappers, these kids carrying, firearms, and these kids see a lot of that stuff, man. So shout out to you for doing your mentorship with the boxing and stuff, man. I mean, we were talking before, man. That's awesome, man. I never want to. It's not lost on me that a lot of athletes go out of their way to have clinics and things and mentor these young adults as well. So I don't want to lose that in the conversation as well, because I understand that as well. That's why I'm kind of on the fence with this with the role model shit. I think if I'm wrong here, somebody correct me. I think there's a thin line when it's between being a mentor and being a role model. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Yeah. Or maybe that definition has changed. With the years, I just look at it differently, man.
I mean, to put it in perspective, I love the fact that you look at it differently, because I think we all have different tweaks of the definition of mentorship, or being a fanboy, as I want to call it.
Right.
You don't want to enable that person.
Right.
But I just think his father's a little bit too close to
Yeah,
his
they
son
are.
on that level.
Right, and I've seen some stuff where his father, they got into a skirmish. Him and his father was with him like they was homeboys.
Yeah.
And he's a hothead, man. I've watched him. Every time I've watched him, he's almost fighting with somebody in the game. And I get the competitive of juices and stuff. But now, man, I mean, what made you think that it was you getting paid millions of dollars from a franchise who has invested in you? This ain't like the 80s when they was paying these guys.
Exactly.
They were paying them, but they ain't. Now they taking life insurance and all kind of people insuring elbows and shit. And you think that I think it's they were saying something about the collective bar. He might have violated something with the CBA as well.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of I haven't heard anything. I've been watching. I didn't want to kind of overstep my bounds with reporting stuff that I know, man. But I just first heard about that, man. That's just crazy, man.
Well, the thing about it is he needs a person on the basketball team that can kind of mentor him into this thing called the NBA. Because regardless of his talent is exceptional. But the problem is he doesn't understand the mores, the subtleties. And that's in every craft. Someone's got to pull you aside and say, hey, young blood, this is what we need to do. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that.
Right.
Somebody needs to be able to grab him by the ear, per se, for lack of a better term.
Right.
And I think that's what's missing. His father doesn't seem to be that person.
Right.
I look at it a couple ways. Like, if you study the story of John Morant, you know about how his father trained him.
That's correct.
To prepare to be a great ball player. And it's like he maybe part of it, and his father was a former ball player that I know he played with Ray Allen. I don't know if he made it to the league, but the reins of that training and that leadership can't come off just because he made it to the league. Because his father became a little bit of his own celebrity, in a way. The manner in which he carried himself during the games and all that. And I wonder about that. I also recognize the fact that, these, young black men with money from entertainment and athletics, they intermingle with people who got street money too. You know what I mean? So it's like a fraternity, and you go on town to town, city to city, and the people who can have the type of fun that they're looking for, that's a small group of people.
True.
And I think that the more you out there in that life, if you don't have a firm grasp on your foundation, you can get lost. To me, it looks like, I don't know the whole story again, but to me, it looked like he got partners. Him and his partners, are involved in trying to hold on to some of the things for where some of his partners may have came up through. And that lifestyle is something that's dangerous. And it's been that way, and we know story after story about somebody's friend getting them caught up. We talk about it with kids all the time too. But then on the other end, you see somebody like Jason Tatum, not lifting Jason Tatum as though he's a perfect example of what you should do, but his mama is his manager or whatnot. He's saving all his money.
Yes.
Although he's held in the same regard as John Morant in terms of where he is talent-wise in the league, they just do things a lot differently. And so it just, when you talk about mentorship, it's not only telling somebody right from wrong, it's navigating. It's navigating them too. It's you don't just kind of stand in the back and tell them what they should do. You gotta lead and open up them doors for them. So that's the way I see it.
Right on.
True indeed. I think that's a powerful statement, and I have to agree with you. But only thing I'm going to add is the fact that a lot of these young athletes are enabled from an early stage in life. And see, they're used to it by the time, if they're able to get into the NBA, NFL, whatever, they have been enabled because people will tolerate that nonsense because they know he's a basketball player or he or she is a football player, what have you. And that's where the problem begins, being enabled. I got to choose that term because that's what they are. And they just pass through. Oh, no. They get into trouble like the young quarterback with the crab legs at Florida State.
Oh,
James.
Winston. Yeah.
It's there are constantly. That's not his first time having a mistake. Or Antonio Brown.
Oh,
This is not
man.
the first time but because of his talent, they're gonna pass him over.
Right.
Because talent sells.
Well, yeah, I remember a time where a lot of these, back in the day, these entourages, the breadwinner didn't have to worry about nothing because his mans would take charge or he would be the one carrying the burner or, a lot of people took care of that. They took care of the golden goose. Now it just doesn't seem like that. And a lot of times the police, will let a lot of these celebrities kind of slide. But now I'm seeing it's like, man, I mean, everything is under a microscope.
There we go.
You can't crap in the urinal, man, without someone having it on, somebody taping it. Every crime now, I liked a lot of true crime stuff. Everything is caught on camera, every damn thing. So I like to see my people making it, getting money, but I do feel a lot of these athletes are coddled coming up. This Morant probably knew he was going to be a pro when he was 10, 11 years old, probably didn't have to take a test or gave that jock treatment. And then, kind of like probably never told no in a sense,
That's correct. Exactly.
Actually, no. Let me just chime in real quick.
Okay.
He was on the same AAU team as Zion Williamson, and he was the fourth option. He went to Murray State. He got passed over. He was a 2-star recruit. So the fact that he went to a lower D1 school, he wasn't heavily recruited. He had to work for his spot. Like, that's what's blowing my mind right now. Just because I know where he came from. Like, he was literally like the fourth fiddle on the AAU team, right? It was 2 guys before him and then Zion, right? And we all know Zion. And then that ended up being the guy who got drafted right in front of him. So for you to go from looked over AAU 2-star recruit to lower D1 athlete to sensation of March Madness to the second overall recruit to rookie of the year.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to work that hard and to do that much work, for you literally to blow it in a summer, it's kind of like what Chris Rock say? Like, you could be rich and blow it in the summer with a coke habit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you blow? You can blow this in a season. That's what's like blowing my mind right now. Because this is in what he's doing all of this, and it's just like even his sideline antics. He doing like somebody get popped, like get their eye popped out. He out here doing like guns and stuff. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, dude.
So it's just like
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, brother.
You good, brother?
No, you go ahead, bro. I just, it's just I'm flabbergasted by the fact that, like, do you know how hard you work to get here?
Right.
And you're doing all of this so fast to like literally lose it is what I'm just like, you can't.
And I agree with you 100%, brother. But let me put out an example real quick. Look at the brother in Alabama for Alabama basketball who did that pat down. I mean, but yet he knew that regardless, they're going to play him because their chances are so much more.
Are you talking about the forward with the gun charge? You talking about him?
Exactly. And he did the pat down when they were coming on the court by some young assistant. You see, that's what I'm talking about, that celebration of so-called thug life.
Right.
So I have to agree, they're coddled, enabled, and they keep pushing it. Why? Talent sells. And the brand knows whatever they're playing for, whether college, whether D leagues, whether pros, they know that he's gonna help them win. So they accept it. And then that young athlete takes it to another level.
Right.
To where it doesn't have to be.
I'm with you too, and I know a lot of these college blue chips, if you will, a lot of stuff they'll hold off until after the season, and then he, back in January, he got caught shoplifting. They didn't want to wait till the season. They didn't want nothing to interrupt. You didn't want to interrupt because you didn't want your best man to be accountable. So
that's right.
It's all that money, man. It's money. But we were talking before. We had brought up John Jones, and we were saying he made a lot of mistakes. In his life. As far as him being a young as UFC champion at 23, being given money, fame, fortune. Mike Tyson. Those guys. You give me fucking how much money did Tyson blow through? Was it in 100 millions? I mean, a lot of these people are young, and they, as far as like Morant, that even makes even more sense because he had to work to where he had to get. He got to the league, got the Rookie of the Year, started dunking on people, feeling himself. So yeah, he feeling himself now. He feeling invincible. He feeling like the mayor of the city. So yeah, he young too.
Young, money. Of course, the women are after him. So all these entities are pulling him in so many directions. And to address Mike Tyson, because I haven't spoken to Tyson, it was an absolute disaster when Customato died, because Customato was his grounding factor.
Right.
So when Don King came up there, his handlers just let him be who he was with all those demons.
Yep.
So with him, with money, and plus Don King obviously milked him for wads of cash, knowing that he was young without any kind of direction.
Yep.
So see, that's why I say mentorship is so key.
I agree.
You need somebody who will pull your collar and let you know this is not the way to go.
Hey, my brother, why don't you tell us a little bit what you're doing as far as the boxing with in the mentorship, man? I'm really interested. I know we had talked briefly about it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jackie, she's the one who formulated New Jersey Give a Kid a Dream, New York Give a Kid a Dream, and that's emanating from Gleason's Gym. We also have one in Long Branch.
Okay.
What we do is we try to empower our kids and utilize boxing to follow up on dietary laws, to really, they get used to having men and women there every day, being consistent and teaching them about life skills, about how to properly eat. And also we're doing their homework. We get involved with our athletes. We take over. So if there's a missing parent in the household or parents, plural, we are there. We make that happen. So yeah, that's, and if anyone wants to, www.gleasonsgym.com and take a look at it.
Go ahead and plug
Give
that,
a kid
man.
a dream. That's what we do. I'm president of Alabama. My father expired on me, so I'm handling that funeral. So.
Oh man, dude, I'm sorry for your loss.
I needed some break from the mission. So yeah, I'm in lovely Enterprise, Alabama, my brother.
Hey, damn, bro, I didn't know.
No, I appreciate you, man, and you guys are doing phenomenal things. I'm gonna support you as much as I can.
Man, I appreciate it, man, and thank you for the kids and stuff, because you're right. Like we talk about this a lot on the show, man. As far as parents not in the household, and then single parents in the household working to pay the bills, and they don't have that presence where it'd be a mother or father figure. And I think that shit is so vital and so important to the development of these kids. Just like I'm going back, but you guys remember Banging a Little Rock? They had that.
Oh yeah, that's what got Bill Clinton elected.
Right.
Exactly.
When they were actually white gangbangers and shit. Well, they had a prequel
HBO special, baby.
Yep. One of the Crip leaders, he actually cleaned his act up, LaFell Jackson, I think, and he was saying, like, I can come out here with a badge and get out of these people out here, but you got to give them something. You got to give them something. If you don't think that these kids, you got to give them something.
That's it.
Right. So it's a give and a take. And I do you can't imagine. We always talk about this. Well, I worry about the next generation of these kids. I just feel, and I'm on the outside looking in, but I just feel sometimes that some of these kids are a lost cause, man, because of who raised them or who's in their life. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't think it's the kids' fault though.
No, that's what I'm saying. About who's raised them.
Like like, so even though they may be a lost cause to us, right? Like the thing is, we got to talk to their parents.
Oh yeah,
like,
definitely.
Like their parents is the lost cause. Like the
Yes.
kids is salvageable.
Yes.
Like you can save a kid, you can't save a broken adult.
No, hell
so
no.
He stole my
So-
thunder. He stole my thunder.
my bad, bro.
Let me get that applause for that, man.
So I got garbage ass parents. Excuse my language.
Hey, it was.
I
We
got
curse on here.
garbage parents that are with majority of these kids, and you know it's amazing. I have to keep my phone on, never knowing that when I'm going to get a shout out. So I'm already accessible. So if you're going to do this kind of work, you have to be accessible.
Agreed.
Because you know, training, giving these kids boundaries, it takes time.
Right.
But when these kids are in need, they're in need.
But I think what would surprise a lot of people who don't necessarily work with kids a lot, like a lot of different kids a lot, is that like even going back to that concept of mentorship is also about correction. And when you correct young people with love, it stands the chance of them not continuing to make those mistakes. Like it's certain people. I'm certain that there are people who interface with Kevin who behave a completely different way outside of Kevin's view than they do when they deal specifically with him. And even when they make mistakes and Kevin correct them, they know where it's coming from. The problem is we really haven't been able to correct our kids in ways that reflect that. Correct other people's kids. I'm gonna say it that way.
Okay.
And correct our own kids too, to be honest.
Yeah. Gone are the days when in the neighborhood you had these neighbors who could whoop your hind parts and send you home, and then you get another whooping because that neighbor whooped your hind parts.
Right.
So yeah, discipline, because you know you got these parents. Oh, you better not touch my kid.
Right.
Well, now it's a disconnect in the village. You know, now people are afraid to even discuss what I seen the other kid doing down the street.
Right.
You know,
parents are the biggest X factor in a child's success before the age of 18. The biggest X factor.
Right.
It takes a village. It takes a village to raise a kid.
But they don't wanna come with the fact that, you know, like you said, like don't touch my kid. Well, hey, it's gonna be a day where you need somebody to watch your kid and you're gonna be left hung out to dry. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the fact and that goes back to the fact that, you know, nowadays I used to know everybody on my block when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I knew everybody. Like I knew who lived there, the kids that lived there, the mama, the daddy. I knew everybody. Now, I know my neighbor to my right and my left, but I don't know the people across the street just because that's how people is, right? You know, in this day and age.
No
right?
community.
So,
let me tell you a quick story real quick. I've been following this trial. This guy Daryl Brooks in Wisconsin got real abusive dude, ended up beating his girlfriend up, ran over these people in the parade, killed 6 people, injured like 67. He's on trial. He's pro-pair. He's representing himself. He's an asshole, interrupting the judge, getting thrown out, just trying to smartest guy in the room thing. So he's rolling his eyes at the victim impact statement, the people who've gotten hurt and are lost. There's no empathy at all. Everyone he has social anxiety. He's a narcissist as well. So what happened? I got 20 people that's going to speak for me for his victim impact statement. No one showed up. Bottom line, they did a Zoom. His mother, his grandmother, and some friend he had. His mother came on there and tried to blame society for not, and now he wants to claim mental health. It's society's fault because they didn't fix him. How is it? And that explained the whole who he was from his mother. Grandmother came on there trying to blame mental health. Why is it society's problem to fix this man when he got locked up the first time? Like, where's the accountability? That's why your son did what he did, and he's steadily trying to get a mistrial. You know, no accountability. I'd have been torn to pieces. Never apologized. So yeah, his mother was she's the one he just got locked up a month prior to that, running over his girlfriend with the same car he used to run over the people in the parade. His mama bailed him out of jail for $1,000 because of the speedy trial thing going on with the COVID shit. So his mom his mom, she did a horrible job and still trying to get him out mistrial, sending them stuff, trying to send him a book on how to act crazy to plead insanity or forget the word I'm looking for. But yeah, man, it's his mother's fault.
Well, DJ Widebody, first of all, we know each other from way back. So
Yes,
I know the strong man that you hail from.
Yes, sir.
So, it's one of those things that once this crack epidemic and all our elders really got decimated, either selling, using, or whatever.
Oh man,
we lost a huge buoy in the lifeline of our community.
Yes, we did.
I mean, knowing your father, we can spend an hour on that alone. So men like him. Oh yeah, by the way, I'll be deploying, but that's another subject matter.
Okay. We gotta chop it up, man.
Yeah, we'll chop it up. But great men who mean nothing but the best for the community and rolling up their sleeves and really going out there to make it. That's what needs to happen for our young kids to get right back on. Because see, when they realize that people love them and when we earn their respect, because we got to be there consistently, and that way they'll be willing to talk to you. A lot of these kids ain't got no one to speak to, no one to talk to, no one to guide them. And getting back, that's where I'm guiding back to Morant. You need that person that's going to tell you you're wrong. You need to stop this. You need to go here. You need to go there. And that person you have to respect.
Right.
Just like Tiger Woods' father. That was his mentorship. Tiger Woods didn't start messing up until his father passed.
Right. Sure enough.
Cus D'Amato was Mike Tyson's mentor. He didn't start messing up until Cus passed.
Right.
You got to have that kind of impact on a young person.
You do.
So but that takes time. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to offend anyone. I don't believe in worshiping four walls. The world is our stage.
Come on now.
I worship by doing something for the community.
Come on now.
So, I don't want nobody to come in and say I hate religion. No, it's just you got to prove it. You can't just go in a 2-hour period in church and then expect, okay, I prayed, everything's good. Roll up your windows when you're driving through the neighborhood and put your blinders on. No, you got to get back.
Right. I look at that as far as some people that do they use church for a cleansing to absolve them of all the bullshit they did all week. And so I went to church. I could look myself back in the mirror now because I didn't went to church and repent. And
And that's a no-go. It's destroyed our community because our conscience is clear. We can go home and do more dirt.
Right.
Now, our community doesn't need that. We need 24/7 activism.
Right. And like you said,
consistency. I think that going to church should involve study. It should involve reflection, which is cool. But the action involved in church has to be in the neighborhoods, in the community, period.
I love that.
As I got older, I saw that, in many situations, churches operate in a similar way to clubs or, where we can come into this space and we can fellowship and we can do business with each other but it's not impacting the environment the way that it needs to impact the environment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I completely agree with that.
Sure. I could take you to a place that has about a church on every corner. They got more churches than liquor stores, and the neighborhood is not reflecting of 5 and 6 churches being in a 3 or 4 mile radius. So you know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
Some of these big cities, these churches and congregations, they carry voters. So, and they have an influence in the community. They put their own people in there depending on, the circumstances,
Absolutely. And you got to think too. I mean, I'll be the first to say that, one of the biggest differences in the communities, as we talk about, oh, the community ain't what it used to be. One of the biggest differences is that you don't have entities like a church that's operating where people get a chance to congregate, and it's a certain level of accountability to certain standards in the neighborhood. You know, growing up on the block, you know, your mama go to church with Miss Baker. You know what I'm saying? You gonna straighten up a little bit.
I like that.
That does happen.
Yes.
But in the same token, at this point, I mean, in 2023, churches kind of have to operate as, you know, almost like as community agencies.
It's not almost. You're right. They have to be
and mobilizing services. Be strategically focused on mobilizing services for the people, not just in their congregation that need help, but just overall.
Well, the Black Panther Party, you know, they're the first ones to put in food programs and teachings, and that was directed towards the youth.
Absolutely.
And within that entity, the U.S. government followed behind them to implement food programs in the schools. You have to be about the children because they are the future, unfortunately,
right?
For the generation.
Right.
We can't survive without it.
Nope. I said something too, is like, you know, as far as the next generation, but I come back to think we made it through the crack era, and that did more destruction than any.
I think you're right, and I think if you look at it statistically, there is less violent crime than there used to be. There is less property crime than it used to be. There is less teen pregnancy than there used to be. There is less in Black communities. There is less hardcore drug use.
Yes.
Statistically speaking. But what there is less of is, I mean, there's less access to programming that can get kids a good job, that can get kids a living wage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I grew up in Flint. You had a bunch of kids that would go to high school and then graduate. And then I go home, I'm in college, broke as hell. And I go home and this kid's working in the plant that got new herringbones and shit. And, you
Shout
know,
out to herringbones, man.
Shout out to herringbones when I was growing up, you know? So, you know, I think there's a lack of opportunities for young people that involve unskilled and uneducated labor. But what it should mean is we're mobilizing. I think we've also kind of told kids that getting that credential behind your name after high school is not as important. And it ain't for everybody if you got a pathway. But a lot of people want to fall into this mode of being self-made. And ain't nobody self-made, bro. Nobody is self-made. You got to watch somebody do what you want them to do. I mean, you got to watch somebody do what you want to do before you know how to do it.
That's
period, in my opinion. Or you gonna hurt yourself for a long time.
I love that thought process, brother.
Period.
Let me, and here's my, if you don't mind, here's my retrospect on that. I feel number one, even with, you notice now with the forgiving the debt situation to the schools and everything else.
Yeah.
How we as a community lost ground on generational wealth was the fact that they forced us to attend college for all these careers, but yet it's the basic commodities. See, because that's one of the things we offer as far as studies in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, automotive, things of that nature, which you can govern your whole lifestyle towards and make so much money because you need that. We have sold the horse for the golden goose when it comes down to these, you know, master's degrees and everything else. And then what happens is those jobs fall short. See,
I agree.
I mean, even with DJ Wiseman, his father had a skill set.
Yes.
So he would always be employed. Sorry to bring him in the mix, but
Oh,
you know,
good.
we have to deal,
Okay,
our mentors. And we have to make it transferable to when that the next generation sees what we're doing and say, you know what? I can create my own reality, not just follow behind him or her, but say, you know what? My thoughts are in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
And then run hard and fast, realizing that, okay, I don't need all these college attributes. Not knocking college, don't get me wrong, because I think critical thinking is always enhanced through that ability, cognitive thought.
I hear you. This is what I would say. I would say for the student, and I tell, the students who I work with this as well. There is so much money available for people to go to college and not have to pay if you do the work in high school. See, grades, in many cases, grades in high school is not a product of your intellect. It's a product of your work ethic, and it's a product of your compliance, unfortunately. It's some bullshit. We all know it is, but it is what it is. But if you walk away from your junior year and your cumulative grade point average is a 3.4, you can go to college for free.
True.
And so if you do choose to go to a college and go into like either a 2-year or a 4-year traditional program or whatever, if you're going to get a degree, you have to get a degree that's rooted in something that is going to lead directly to a career, like business, like marketing. I'm talking about things that are trending now: business, marketing, engineering, things of that nature. Getting a degree in the liberal arts at this point is not a good idea. Don't go get a communications degree.
Political
don't go
science.
Get a history degree. Don't go get a psychology degree. Go get a degree in mechanical engineering. Go get a degree in teaching math. It's a lot of legislation on the table about teachers and how to raise their pay and things of that nature that's going to be affecting how many teachers are coming into colleges of education by 2027. So if I'm a high school kid, that's what I would do. If I don't have the grades, I'm going to a 2-year college or a certification program and getting a trade in solar panel technology and drone repair and in construction and HVAC. Because if you go ahead and you do that, now you got a certification and you're 20 years old and you can work a job where you can make $25, $30 an hour maybe. And then you can make some decisions about what you want to do. But instead of paying for a class that costs $3,500, that class might have cost you $350.
Right.
And that's a big difference.
You're dead on it.
It's a number of different ways. Yeah, school is definitely not for everybody. I've learned a lot about what goes on at community colleges recently. I've been doing, I have a partnership with them right now, so I'm learning about how that works. And no, it shouldn't operate in a traditional way. No school should be operating in a way that's traditional from 5 years ago at this point, because the need is so great. But like I said, if you got a kid around you that is, they doing their work, they stay out the way, this, that, and third, they can have a college experience, but you got to find that money. And the money is out there.
True. But, brother, I like your spirit, like your drive. The biggest thing, because a lot of these kids,
Uh-oh, he broke up. Damn.
Did he freeze?
Yeah, he froze. Damn. Hey, Kev,
No,
you can hear me?
like I said, I think that,
I'm still frozen?
Hey, yeah, you good.
No, you're not frozen no more. Go ahead, man.
Okay. Brother, I love the way you broke that down. You broke that down so eloquently. My thing is, a lot of these kids don't have that someone to break it down as well as you did. Because, see, you explained it from every angle. But when we're dealing with certain factions of our community, they don't have that resource, that person that they have a warm and fuzzy, that's willing to give back, that's willing to express how to do it. They just say, oh, you need to go out and do it. Well, how? Right. And when you don't have that proper person within the confines of your house, residence, or whatever, then you're like, okay, but how do I recover? How do I resource that?
So his resources deficient in some cases. I know both of you guys are kind of on the. I know you work with a lot of you do a lot of mentorship programs as well, Wallace. So you guys are hitting on the nail. I definitely agree with the resources, man, and how to get there. And I think that mentorship is so essential to these communities, man. I think
how to access those resources.
Right.
Someone needs to be able to point them, because he broke it down so well.
Right.
And I'm like, that's
Right.
what they need, because they don't know how to access. Why? Because that parent may not know that, or that counselor, or that mentor, or that, so where do we get that kind of, direction?
That's true. That's true.
Right.
You're right.
And, we need, all hands on deck at this time, because they're building more industrial prison complexes than they are.
Man, they already got Wi-Fi shit in there.
No
Here's
doubt.
the thing. It's they not only building more industrial, prison complexes, they building more Amazon warehouses.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
building more businesses that can be opportunities for people who don't necessarily have the qualifications or the desire to do certain things.
Yes.
But the problem with that is you are going to be enslaving yourself to their whims.
Nice turn.
Amazon's new Walmart, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. The middle class is no longer what it used to be. There's a have and a have-nots.
Absolutely.
And we as a community, we are a very resourceful bunch.
Absolutely.
We always have been. So it's not like we can't learn to garner those resources that we need. But I think as a community, we need to make that, we need to pitch and each one teach one.
I always say that, man. Each one teach one too. I got a question for y'all. Do you feel like that we were more resourceful in our time than, even though you have these pocket computers around everywhere? Do you think we were more resourceful? Because I think that this thing hinders people in a sense as well, because it's there for the taking. And you can get like, you don't have to know how to spell anymore. Because I'm a plain example, but I just felt like I was more resourceful when at that time. I didn't know where to go, and a lot of times I was kind of self-taught because I was always inquisitive, and I was always intrigued by certain things that I wanted to, get my Encyclopedia Britannica. But what do you guys think about that? You think that we were more resourceful, even though we didn't have the technology that they have these days?
I wanted the brother speak first because that brother is a wealth of knowledge. And then I want a caveat of him if he doesn't mind.
What up?
Hold on real quick. I'm just running out.
Okay. Well, listen, we can do a commercial break. This is Moonshine giving praise to your father.
Shout out.
This is Alabama finest. But
hey, my mom was in the chat. She watches.
Hey, man, I haven't seen her. Wow. Yeah. This is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I don't know if she's still on.
Oh, you don't know if she's okay.
She comes in and say hi, and then hey mom, you still there?
Tell her.
I'm gonna call her
Tell
anyway.
her Russell said hello.
I will.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Definitely.
Tell her I said hello afterwards. Then, if we're not able to get her back on.
Got you.
But when it comes down to, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So the question involved. The question involved.
You feel that
whether or not we are as resourceful. I just think that we don't read maps.
Yep.
We don't put in light switches.
Yep.
We don't change brakes. We don't change. Some of us don't even change tires. I think what it is that technology has made it where we don't have to be as resourceful as we used to. That's part of the issue, or as much as we think we need to be. And then also, there was also a lack of mentorship that showed how to do certain things because, and this is underrated, so many of us men, for a variety of reasons, was not imparting that knowledge on other generations of men. You know what I'm saying? Some of us were, some of us were not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think between those two factors, I think that's where you have, I don't know how to put up drywall. I can learn though. I go on YouTube and figure it out and screw it up a couple times, and then I know how to do it. So the technology has made it where the one-to-one contact about how to do something has changed, and you still got to take that time with your kids and show them how to do stuff. But in the same token, it wasn't a lot of us that really did that. No, you know what? It probably was.
Yeah, I was gonna.
You also got to think too. People are very distracted. We are all very distracted. My power been out for 3 days.
What the hell?
My power been out since what? Thursday night, Friday night.
Oh, man. Yes.
Yeah, we had a bad snowstorm up here, and our power been out. And I think about like me and my wife, we took today, and we went out and we hung out all day. Yesterday, yesterday, I thought about how much I potentially could get done in the house.
Yes.
Because there ain't no internet in the house. So ain't no movies being watched, ain't no video games, ain't no, none of that.
Stone Age.
How the kids doing without the internet, bro?
Fine. The kids, they've been with their grandmama and grandpa. They've been living it up in vacation. And me and mama been out here living like Grizzly Adams, the Swiss Family Robinson.
Hey, we old. We say we got a generator. We know we old when we thought, hey man, this got. We was talking about the generator.
All day. You know what? Let me caveat off of that, please.
All right, brother. You got it.
He definitely brought it in perspective. I think it's a magnificent resource because I'm always on my boxers because I want them to get into the aspect of if whatever you do it 100% or you don't do it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a boxer, you have all these other resources that you can tap into, meaning past fighters. One thing about Mike Tyson, he is a scholar in the game of boxing.
Right.
He knows so much, and he has so much information. Larry Holmes, Eastern Pennsylvania. When I used to box pro, we used to go up there and spar. Then he'll gather us around the ring and center us and have court. The resources there, if you want to tap into the information of being able to strategize, being able to basically enhance your skill set. So I look at it as this phone, you can enhance it. It's a walking library. All you got to do is Google whatever it is that you want. So it should be able to enhance yourself. I tell my boxers all the time, any style that you want is right there.
Right there for the taking. Classic fights, man.
There you go.
What you had to do back in the day when you were boxing to find tape on somebody? VCR tape. Now you can just go blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is the one right here where he was fighting southpaw or something, or look how
Right. Absolutely.
I don't think they appreciate it because we didn't have that technology at one time, so we know how it is not to have it.
Exactly.
So,
I concur with you.
Right up.
I thoroughly concur with you. And let's go back to mentorship for a short second.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
you could be a mentor without even aspiring, because your father was a mentor to me. You know how I was as a terror when I was much younger. We can leave that alone. Statute of limitations.
Hey,
Statute of
man.
limitations.
I just say good times, brother.
But see, as we evolve as people, we either get better or we decline.
Right.
Your father was always, challenging everybody around him. See, because you could be a mentor without even knowing.
Exactly.
Because you're a community event. You just, hey, this is what I will tolerate.
Right.
And like I do, people are either going to tolerate the bull or they're not. And your father didn't take it. So if you were going to be around him, hey, you had to want to aspire. So that's one of the things that really taught me this thing about mentorship.
Right.
Like, hey, man, let's give back to the next generation. All people around you. And that way, so let's go back to J.A. So somebody needs to pull him aside and say, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do. So that way he's filled with positive energy to say, all right, my man, I want to do better. Forget this other lifestyle that he knows. Come on, man, this gunplay and everything else, he knows nothing about. Come on. On the real, for real. He's been an athlete since day one, working hard to enhance his craft. So that's my thing. It's these falsehoods that he's dealing with at this particular time.
Right. There's some people that should be, there's some people that actually have to carry around protection.
Unfortunately,
that love not to have to deal with shit like that. Man, you
Exactly.
made it, man. You don't have to resort to that. Like be a pillar, be a rock, like you said, without even, some people like I've had mentors where they were just the way they conducted themselves, and I just watched how their energy was, and that to me was a great help along the way. And I've had some very important people that were around me that kept me from doing shit that I would regret later, and be sitting here talking to you about saying, man, I wish I never would have did that. And I ain't saying I ain't do, some shit that if I'd have got caught, but
full of clean clothes.
Feel that someone was always looking out for me and shit like that, and would tell me what my collar was showing. You need that shit, that balance, man, because hey, man, you got all this fame and money and shit, and there's nothing that you don't want for. And
that's it. Because he's still young. See, that's the thing.
Young.
He's immature, probably because of his youth, I'll say. So he can be taught. There is a promise, but he needs to really separate himself from that negative energy.
Right.
What he thinks is hood fabulous, and realize that, yo, my man, that didn't bring you here.
Right.
Hood life is not even part of your lifestyle.
And he nice.
It's a fraud. But see, that now we gotta go back to music, which we know when we were younger, we had positive hip hop and everything else.
Right.
But now they formatted everything to be hood life.
Yep.
To where you taking drugs, you selling drugs, you calling your kid's mother all out of her name.
Yeah,
come on, it's just.
Can't wait to call
it's really real talk.
Hey, you can tell Wallace is no power. They're talking about flashlights and candles and everything.
I see.
I'm sorry.
That's what
my bad.
Let me get you
I'm
go,
hoping
bro.
his generator is good. I'm hoping his generator is working out well.
Hertz, shout out to Digger Hertz. He's tuning in. He said job in Memphis too long.
Well, Memphis, yo, Gotti. I was there in Memphis for a little period of time, and it can be, Yo Gotti. It can be a little bit it can be reckless.
Man, I love Memphis, man. I love Memphis, man.
That's Mike's second home.
There you go, brother.
I love Memphis, man. I love Memphis, man.
Yeah, Hertz from Memphis too. We went to Memphis a couple years back. We went to the we go to retreat every year, and that's a love. I would be proud to be from a city like that, man. I like some of the we went to the Stax Museum with the
beautiful city.
It was a good, nice city, man. Very, 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 very pigmented.
Hey, DJ Waba, let me, since we reminiscing, short story of Memphis. I was down in Millington in the Marine Corps. Millington Air Force Base,
He was a
Navy
Marine.
base is aviation. So, of course, we used to always flock to Memphis. Long story shorter. I like to, whenever I'm going around, I like to walk through the neighborhoods, see the community, network with, the felines, no Brewster in a moment, and see what was, I'm sorry, my bad. See how I mean. So, this is going back in the 80s, family. So, we're walking around, I'm like, and all of a sudden, I see this woman with a makeshift desk, for lack of better words, and she's got a bunch of advertisement. And behind her is a fenced-in, what appears to be a construction site for a building. I'm like, what is going on with this? So we got about 8 of us, 8 brothers. So I say, yo, let's go over here real quick and see what she's talking about. Because she's a sister. And I'm like, okay, I'm willing to, know what she wants. So we get over there, man, let me tell you, it was a hotel. And she was a receptionist for that hotel. And she was trying to collect funds so that way she can keep the hotel intact. Because that was the hotel that Martin Luther King had gotten assassinated in.
Wow.
So we were able to converse with her and, of course, donate, because I think you know me well enough.
Oh, yeah,
I had to kick in.
Absolutely.
I drank a whole lot less that evening because my money went over there. At that time, there wasn't debit cards.
Hey.
But, it was a learning point.
Right.
And, for me, that's one of my, learning moments when it comes down to our history. Because she felt, and how if you really step out on principle, then, you can show the world and maintain that principle and make that happen. She stepped out on principle, and now it's a landmark.
Oh, he's saying that was the Lorraine Motel. We went there. Okay.
That was the Lorraine Motel.
No doubt.
And she stood out on principle, and now it's a landmark for the world to see.
Wow.
And she was a receptionist at that hotel.
Damn.
So, create your own reality.
No doubt.
For lack of a better
Real shit, man.
phrase. Create your own reality.
You do.
Hey, that's my history. I lived it. It was a beautiful thing. So, I want to share that real quick.
Hey, man, that's dope, man. And like I said, I love that city, man. I just it's our kind of city. It's our city. And I was telling Hertz, man, I'd be proud to be from a place like this, man. It just had so much history and shit with it. We went to the soul food restaurants and we're just, man, we're here. Like, yeah.
Yes, Lord. The food, the music, the environment, the colleges, because there's so many students and being a male, so many women. I mean, it is people. Hey, don't sleep on Memphis. I love Memphis. The culture, the vibes, connection. Listen, Memphis, baby. I love it. Shelby County. Oh, anyway.
I like.
But
I'm gonna get into the next little topic. Just a little conversation. I'll ask you guys a question. And this is you don't have to be married to answer. And this listen to the question. Shout out to Brother Wallace with this one. Should you be 100% honest with your spouse or significant other? Should you be 100% honest with your spouse or significant other? And Wallace just left.
Smart brother. Smart.
What was the question? I missed it.
Should you be 100%?
Oh, we got another married man in here. Let him go first.
There we go.
How?
I'm having a good time with this.
In theory, the answer is 100% yes.
My man.
Okay.
In reality, it's how fast do you want to die? Because I say that with saying it's just like it, and I always get into this debate with my wife about the whole lie of omissions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we say some stuff that we leave out, like, oh baby, do I look good in these? Of course you do. No, you don't.
Take a second. Take over 2
No,
seconds.
you don't. But is that lie really worth me telling you the truth and deflating whatever confidence you feel and whatever the heck you're wearing? Absolutely.
Well,
like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. I think that as much as women say they want the truth, their feelings can't handle the truth, is what I've on certain degrees.
That's
like you know how they say, like, if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask.
Right. Hurt said you said,
like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're opening yourself up for vulnerability that men are equipped for. Like rejection and the truth and blunt, like we are equipped for. Like we have to eat that shit like it's a shit sandwich and just be like, all right, with a smile, like, yeah, baby, this pork chop good.
I would say, do you really want to hear how many dudes your wife slept with before she got involved with you?
Malcolm.
But see, that's the thing. I don't ask that. Hey, that's the but Malcolm. But see, that's the thing. I'm a smart enough man not to ask that question. So that's the truth. I know I'm not about to ask. You be
like honest with your spouse.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're gonna ask that question, expect the worst answer. But if they're just willing to just roll with it and just be like, okay, well, I don't need to know. Or
I
you know
agree
what I'm saying?
Where you were going with women aren't equipped for honesty. I agree 100% with that. They're not equipped for it. But I don't think that men, we want to hear 100% honesty from them either.
Oh, I agree with that.
We don't want to hear it, but we can take it.
Yeah, okay.
Some things that might ruin some shit.
Sometimes we gotta take it.
Sometimes we have to take it. There's certain things you have to take. Yeah.
But then we make the decision afterwards. If she told you, it was 50, you may not like the truth, but then you're gonna be like,
I'm out the door.
She told you she slept with your best friend while you was out and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want to know that. Hey, Hurt said in the chat. Hurt said he said no because everyone can't handle the absolute truth. So, what do you guys think in the chat? Should you be 100% honest with your spouse? I mean, it's kind of tricky. You know, we always want to be honest and stuff. Sometimes we don't want to know. Like Malcolm said,
it's women out here that they told they husbands that kid ain't theirs. So I don't want to hear.
Oh, there's a lot of that shit.
Opinion about it out there in the chat at all. I'm sorry, I love y'all women, but nah. Y'all ain't checking y'all homegirls to tell her husband, like, yeah, you know what, that was a one night stands, kid.
And I'm about to say, ask your wife about her best friend. If she ever tell you the shit about the scoop on her best friend and what her husband don't know about her. Yeah.
So we don't, as men, me coming from, I don't want. Well, it depends on what the hell it is. I don't want to know no body counts. I'm not, you know, and I'm 46 now. So if I was getting into a new relationship, I know that the body count, I mean, I ain't getting the Virgin Mary coming off the press. And, you know, I don't want to know shit like that, or I don't know.
Well, she was like 1,000 wide body.
1,000? I'm out the door. Got here. But yeah. So, all right. De La Soul is now streaming. I didn't know you couldn't stream a Danny De La Soul.
No, they earlier albums.
Oh yeah,
earlier albums. You know
that way?
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. You could not find a De La Soul song on the internet, or you can download the album or nothing.
Yeah, that Stakes is High, all that shit.
Oh, shit.
That was for years. Yeah, for years I wanted to hear some De La. I'm like, yo, why
too many samples going on.
No. It was the owner, whoever owned the rights. They couldn't.
The label. They had label.
The label. He didn't clear a lot of those samples.
It was a lot of sampling issues. It was a lot of sampling issues and a lot of shit. But they just had a countdown party or whatever, and you know, one of the dudes just died and shit. But
and that was tragic. Yeah.
It just had a countdown. Yeah, unfortunately he missed that because a lot of the issues with De La was that music wasn't getting played because and people wanted it. Like they put that song, Three is the Magic Number in the Spider-Man movie. And a lot of people wanted to download their shit. A lot of people wanted to download that old De La Soul. Or just go to YouTube and listen to it. You can't even go to YouTube and listen to it.
Right.
You can't pull up old videos on YouTube. None of them old videos with De La Soul there. You couldn't find them.
I know a lot of Jay Dilla's the shit he produced for them. That's why I would hear a lot of that. The stakes is high.
But you couldn't hear Stakes is High on the internet. You couldn't hear it.
That's
Well,
why
shout out to Daylight, man.
When I was in my Captain Jack Sparrow days, I got a hard drive just sitting here.
Shout out to Captain Jack.
I'm lost in shoes, niggas. It's bullshit. You can't see.
So so you're saying Slate Magazine's De La Soul streaming. It's time to legalize sampling. Time to legalize sampling. I think there's enough out there for everyone to get theirs.
It's not legal.
Oh no, you gotta get shit cleared. Unless you
of course. Yeah, I don't think you should just be able to flagrantly use motherfucking shit.
No, I think get permission. We got some of these artists that don't want to or want to take all of the points. I forget which artist they didn't make anything off the shit, but a lot of that stuff is segued for other things. So hey, you can keep the money from this. I need this so I can go to it.
What do you think about the AI that's about to be able to tell where all your micro chops came from?
Are you? Yeah, I heard about that, man.
Like, what do you like? So, like, they might go back and be like, "Wait a minute, that micro chop."
They're gonna find a lot of shit.
Like, yo, they about to. Hey, it's gonna be some prog rock from Europe, some Brazilian, Argentinian flips that's about to be like, yo, we need that money, Mike.
What is the
then I'm gonna tell that? Then I'm gonna tell that AI you a liar. I did not get that from
you. You're a goddamn lie, ain't that?
You feel me?
And it's gonna be like, how dare you call me a liar? Siri knows all. Like,
hey, Shazam is good enough. We don't need no. What do you do? Like, damn. So this supposed to be able to pick up your micro chops?
Yeah, bro. Like,
oh my god,
it's probably gonna be something. The only thing I can really think of is there has to be some sort of metadata even within the micro chop.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like, oh, it came from that, like, because there's cats that, what was it? Who did that? The people who catalog music, they have to put it in digital form now. So it's cats that's out there that all they do is put the vinyl into digital. So there's gonna be some form of metadata that is going to be able to pick it up from even like a quarter of a note or an eighth note or something like that, bro. It's going. That's the only way I can see it, bro. It's going to be like ones and zeros is going to link up and be like, okay, well, yeah, we know you took it from this one, this place.
Right, boy. You can fuck around. I put three different songs on my shit. You can be like, Blondie, YouTube,
this guy,
AC/DC, Pink Floyd. Yeah, I don't think, man. I'm gonna check and see when this is supposed to be coming out. I don't understand. I think is this gonna get worse? See what Hurt said. They never be able to catch my chops ever. That's what Hurt said. That's what I'm saying. Let's make us step our game up. Let's make us step our game up.
Hey, that's another arrogant Memphis dude.
Shout out to the arrogant Memphis dude.
Why you playing my shit, man? What's good with you, man? Why you doing that, man?
Part of the sound effect, man.
You can't see that, brother? Don't cut his fucking dick off the Wayne Wade, bro. You fucking tripping, dog. You tripping, dog.
Tripping, dog.
Uh-oh.
Hey, by the way, that beat, bro, that beat in the intro.
That's appreciate it. And this go check out I'm saying for that. That's one of my favorite RTO beats, the one I played before the show started. But yeah, man. So real quick, we were supposed to do some 90s shit, man. I think Miss Jewel wasn't able to make it today. So let's agree for next week. I want to go into the 90s. I want to do the best of the 90s. How about we get together, we give our little list like we used to do, put them in a bracket, and we'll debate them, and we'll choose some shit. You guys be cool with that?
Best of what? You just gonna come up with the category?
Yeah. I guess we'll discuss it during the week. So we'll do something with the 90s. I think we need to go back to the 90s to kind of reminisce a little bit and put that out there because a lot of the 90s was a lot of foundation. I know we did shows on the 80s. I mean, I'm a 77 baby, but I didn't really start getting off the porch until the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of got to hip hop, the mid 80s, with the tape and. But like the 90s was the time where I understood things and I was able to get into places and things. But I want to do like the best of the 90s next week, man. I think we'll have some fun with that, Of course, we do talk, it's a variety show, so we're able to do shit like that, man. Maybe we'll get some of the panel involved on the playback as well as the live stream. We've lost a lot of viewership, man. I was having good people in here. Missed a week, couple weeks, and then it goes back in the tube. So we're starting to build back up. Get some playback value in it. So we'll mess with that next week. You guys are around. Pretty sure you guys will. Hopefully we'll have the Sunray Beats back well. Thanks, Malcolm, for joining. Came a little late, but that's cool. Miss Jewel will be back next week. She got a lot of business going on right now. But, and I miss our trivia. We used to do the brackets and shit, man. We had good fun with that, man. It's kind of, what do you guys think the most underrated chain restaurant is? The most underrated chain restaurant.
Like underrated. Okay, fast food or sit down.
Anything. Fast food, sit down. That diamond in the rough. That's underrated. They'd be like, yeah, every time I go here, no matter if I'm in Memphis or I'm in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I'm gonna have to go there, man.
Come on.
Have to go there.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
House, man.
Waffle
House. That's only because we ain't got them in the D, bro. That's all.
You feel me? You feel me? That's all. Is that what it is?
Oh, hey, because down here, bro, it's a guy who does it, bro. Every quarter, I got a Waffle House,
Jesus
now, bro.
Christ,
so I'm just like
Waffle House, boy. Do you?
Damn. Hey, I love the Waffle House. I love the Waffle House. I ain't never been disappointed, and us not having it around the way.
That time, Mark.
I can't do
it.
Nah, I'm trying to think, man. Like, I can tell you what the most overrated joints are.
You go there too. Overrated.
Overrated has got to be. I don't care if anybody disagree. Chain wise, as far as sit down. My wife love it, but I just get tired of it. Just the cheesecake.
Don't say Olive Garden. That's my undergraduate.
No, the Cheesecake Factory. The Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'll go with you there.
Man, look, bro.
It might not be the most overrated, but it's definitely overrated. And the cheesecake overrated.
Oh man,
that's the only thing I really like about it.
Well,
it's
that spot in Philly. Anybody know a spot in Philly called Tiffany's? Anybody know about that? It's by the It's they got that mall at the train station. You take the train from Camden or whatever in the Philly, that underground train station. The shit is like a mall in there, and they got a bakery called Tiffany's, and the line be ridiculous anytime I ever went there because people be ordering.
I love a good bakery, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I used to order online for like Thanksgiving. I used to order from them and drive an hour and a half to go to Philly to go pick up.
That's one thing I miss. Right. That's one thing I miss about the North. You had more bakeries and shit. Like bakeries, fresh bread and shit. Like dropped off.
So when I taste the cheesecake and Cheesecake Factory, I was about to say Cheesesteak Factory. Cheesecake Factory.
I'm allowed to choose your niggas.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I will say this though. Sidebar: best popcorn. If y'all ever go into O'Hare or the other Chicago airport, if you can get Garrett's popcorn, that popcorn is fire, bro.
Hey, I'll say, you know what? I'll tell you one that fell off.
Get in the
I've
airport?
had a bad experience.
Yeah, you can get it in the airport. I can't remember the other because I flew into the Chicago airport that's not O'Hare. And it was in
O'Hare and it's the main one.
No, O'Hare's the main one. That's the one that's in Cook County. It's the other little small one.
Midway or something.
Yeah, Midway. Yeah, Midway.
That's the one that people say, yeah, don't go to that one.
Yeah, that's hey, look, bro. Midway is look. Nah, hard pass.
People say don't go to LaGuardia, but now LaGuardia got the best airport in
They do. Shout out to LaGuardia, man.
I like Newark too. I like Newark Airport too. Newark Airport. Don't sleep on Newark.
I mean, I should drive down to Philly a lot, man. That was that old. I had to fly.
Philly was Sheba. Yeah, Philly was Sheba to get
Well, I
out.
started company. Well, I was working this company. We used to fly we never flew out of Newark. Well, a couple times, but Philly was always had to go drive. I couldn't get no mass transit down there like that. You could, but you'd be on a damn train all day. But I went to I had a bad Olive Garden experience a couple weeks ago, man. I've never had a bad. I always could depend on a walk on Olive Garden, no matter where on this earth.
That's what I was gonna be. My most underrated one is Olive Garden.
Yo, Olive Garden was trash, dude. I was so upset, man. Like, yo, Olive Garden never.
Must have been that specific Olive Garden.
It had to be, bro. But I tell you, the best one hasn't. Carrabba's. Carrabba's, hands down. Best franchise, Italian franchise, man. I think that's Carrabba's.
I've yet to go in there.
Like, I think I only went in there once.
Hey, I've always loved Maggiano's. I don't know if y'all got a Maggiano.
Yeah, we got that too.
Yeah. I like Maggiano's.
Yeah, Maggiano's straight. Maggiano's is real, yo. Maggiano's is straight, yo.
Yeah, we got Maggiano's down there. You can always take the go thing. 2 ZDs, they'll put the 1 ZD up, and then
Yeah, I had my ex-girlfriend used to take me there and shit.
Carrabba's, you ask for the bread, you get the oil, and then you get the seasoning and the balsamic, man. You could just sit there and eat the bread, bro. You don't even need the oil.
There's a lot of mom and pop Italian shops that do that.
Oh man,
that's like a staple. You know what I'm saying? But you won't always get that at the chains. It's good that they do that, but that's a staple, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think, matter of fact, I think Maggiano's will do it too.
Well, that's how I feel about Carrabba's, man. I felt like Carrabba's because Carrabba's in Jersey, they had one in Bricktown I used to go to, and that was like the only one I like to say. And then years later, they started franchising. But Carrabba's has that mom and pop.
I have to try that shit, man. I always bypass it. I might have to try it.
The Carrabba's is all right, bro. I've never went to the Carrabba's I didn't like. Olive Garden, it wasn't until a couple weeks ago. And yeah, customer service is suffering, but man, they paying these kids $15 an hour now to work at these restaurants, man. Some of them.
The customer service was bad, or the meal was bad?
Well, the customer service bled on to the food service. They, maybe they need to come up with a new business model on how to serve this stuff, man. Maybe to make it to where they can't mess it up. I mean, certain ingredients. Some of these franchises, you got to. I felt that Olive Garden broke their franchise, their contract that they had being an independent. You know how some of these, you buy McDonald's, you can't put seasoning on the fries if you want to. You got to follow a certain guideline. Olive Garden broke that. Only thing that was good with Olive Garden that was the salad, and I'll leave it there. The other stuff was so bad I couldn't get a doggy bag. I said, "Nah, I'm good."
What the hell did you order?
I forgot what I ordered. Some chicken. I always get the chicken or something there. I don't go to a seafood spot and order steak, and vice versa. I like to get
they chicken parm be outstanding.
Man, that chicken parm. I think I did get the chicken parm. I got the
chicken. My shit is the carbonara. That's my go-to at Olive Garden. The carbonara.
Right.
Love that shit.
Man, me too, man. You can't go wrong with
the 4 cheese penne pasta. I'll be fucking with that shit too. You see, I fuck with Olive Garden. That's what I was gonna say.
Sidebar. I used to be a cook at Olive Garden. So I
can understand you don't want to fuck with that shit. Yeah. Okay.
No, because here's the thing. If Olive Garden, if you ever listen to this, you need to bring back the chicken cone broth. That was the shit.
See, people like you around. I know you was probably about a book. Make sure you was on your dean. See?
All right, look. The chicken cone broth was the shit of the OG, bro.
Another thing that pisses me off.
Fire.
I go outside and there's people, the employees are out front smoking. Like that is so unprofessional. Go. Yes, I don't want you outside smoking. You going to serve my food. Like, I don't want to see that shit, man. Take that to the back. So the management, maybe it was the management, man. I'll give him another shot though, man. But
that sounds like a ghetto ass Olive Garden.
Yeah, Popeyes is like that too. Popeyes, they're horrible. Popeyes was at one point.
Well, Popeyes, this is what you get. It's fast food joint.
Man, back in
you
the day,
gotta expect motherfuckers outside smoking at Popeyes.
Yo, back in the day, that Trenton one, because Popeyes was the shit. But now Church's, I think, supersedes. I think as far as chicken, they put the jalapeno in there for you, man. I think Church's is better than Popeyes. I think Popeyes.
I went to a Popeyes one time, and the two people was beefing with each other, and they was throwing. I mean, when I say beef, it was like 10 people in there waiting for food. They taking super long to make people food, and they having a full.
What up, brother?
They having a full argument between the people, the workers. The workers having a full argument in front of everybody, like just hurling insults at each other. I'm sitting back, like we look at each other like this shit is funny, watching this shit, but at the same time, like I want my food and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm taking mad long, but
shit.
Yeah,
I was at
crazy.
Popeyes and the girl came in on a day off and talked. Well, my check, bitch. Like, wow. They
That's what I'm
just
saying.
opened.
It's
That's
certain
when the
shit
chicken sandwiches was popular. Because the first couple of chicken sandwiches when they came out was all right. That was it. Now I wouldn't even dream of eating a chicken sandwich there, man. They thought they had something. They ain't nobody mess with Chick-fil-A though. Chick-fil-A, boy. You see the new Chick-fil-A setup?
You mean God's chicken?
30 people working. Huh?
You mean God's chicken? That's what Chick-fil-A is. It's God's chicken.
God's chicken? Where did that name come from?
I mean, because the chicken take
Well,
a
they
rest on
religious as
Sunday,
hell.
man.
Oh yeah, that's it. They
Yeah, they
close
take
on
a
Sunday.
rest on
want
Sunday,
gay,
man.
They don't want to serve gay people and shit. So they had that gay people that kissing where gay people went and was kissing in the middle of Chick-fil-A and shit.
Yeah.
And then,
boy.
yeah.
Man, you go to Chick-fil-A, man, there's like 30 people. There's this little tent you go underneath, and they got their little palm pilots taking your order and stuff. Then
Not on Sunday.
Yeah, they close on Sunday. But how gangster is that you don't even need that Sunday money? And you know
Hey,
it's open Sunday.
Hey, and they're number 3 in the look. So think about it. They're number 3 as far as like fast food joints, and they're closed one of the days.
That's
says
the
a
day I
lot.
ever wanted that shit. Like today, I wanted that shit. Today, on my way home, I was like, "Damn, I want some Chick-fil-A."
We don't
Like,
have
God
that
damn, it's
over
Sunday,
here.
man. It's always a Sunday when I want that shit.
Yep, because you know you can't have it. That's why you want it.
It could be psychologically something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's on them. They can have my money every Sunday. But that's on them.
We don't have that around here. So when we go out of town, we gotta hit Starbucks up. You gotta hit the Chick-fil-A up, and you got the Cheesecake Factory fell off, but they have BJ's is all right. But
The
I
bar?
think
I like the bar.
It's a restaurant joint.
A bar and a bar and grill. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a good salmon.
Oh, you talking about the BJ's, the brewery, the brew house, right?
Yeah, the brewery. Yeah, it got like
All American.
15,000 beers and shit. And
Comfort food.
Yeah.
Or
I
whatever.
actually didn't like their food. I think me and my wife went there twice, and we were just like,
Nah, I had the salmon and like a salmon spinach salad or some shit. That shit is great.
So as we
Great.
get older, I love a good salad, bro. I love a good salad. Good hearty salad, man.
Man,
I highly recommend that
hearty.
BJ's.
First of all, I've never heard hearty and salad put in the same sentence.
Call soup hearty. You can't call
Ever.
salad hearty. You're right.
Ever.
A nice
So
green salad.
he out here describing foliage as hearty.
Man, look,
Okay.
I've been eating salad with no this salad. I haven't been eating no chicken or anything in it, man. I've been croutons, my call it little onions, the cooked fried onions, yeah, been all right, bro. A little balsamic on there, a little basil, penny basil, whatever. All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and close this gun up, man. I just thank everybody for coming out today. Everybody showing up on the panel. Shout out to Drop. Welcome. Hopefully we'll be back next week. Shout out to everyone that didn't make it today. We'll be back next week. I'm so damn tired. But yeah, man, we're on at 6:30 for the pre-show. 7 o'clock the show starts. Playing some dopest artists and producers. Don't forget that. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming through, and we're gonna get out of here. I'd like to thank Mike Notes, RTO Beats, Ron Wallace, Kevin Russell, CB Hustle. Join us next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 for the pre-show for another edition of Talk That Stuff. I'd like to say peace on 3. 1, 2, 3. Peace.
Guys and gals, welcome back to this.